Hey, what's up, guys? Listen, I'm so excited to have you on here, and I'm gonna start doing more content on my YouTube page as well as going live on my YouTube page, and then it'll be housed there. But I'm usually going to go live about specific topics and discussions that I kind of want to cover, and to provide some type of value add to your life. And I'm going to do these as well as add these to the podcast and so forth and so on. So I'm just so excited about everything that's kind of unfolding and kind of rolling out. And so I hope that you all lock in and want to be a part of it and excited about it and everything else like I am. Today I want to deal with this topic of trust issues, and trust is a big thing. And I think a lot of times we automatically look for a reason on why we have trust issues. And majority of the time, when we look for a reason for why we have a trust issue, it's typically due to a failed relationship, somebody that we encountered, or some type of negative connotation with someone in our adult life. But not understanding that by the time you started dating, trust issues were already, the seed of trust issues were already sown. And so before you went into a relationship, there was a seed of trust issue that you probably already had. And I only can speak to it from my narrative or from my side, right? And so when I look back at it, it is where relationship exposed the trust issue, but relationship did not start the trust issue. Again, relationship exposed the trust issue, but relationship did not start the trust issue. The trust issue was started, if I think back to it, it probably started to my relationship with my father. And every time someone tells you that they're going to do something and they don't follow through with that, or if they say, hey, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to take you to Chuck E. Cheese, or I'm going to take you to McDonald's, or I'm going to take you X, Y, and Z, and they don't show up, no call, no show, and then the next day operator act like everything's all good. They may apologize for it, but it's a seed of distrust that is already sown. Now, I want you to understand this, that I'm not saying that someone has to be perfect for you. And if they're not perfect, and if they don't follow through on every single word that they say, they're trash. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that majority of the time, when there is a trust issue within the relationship, usually that just exposed your level of disdain for it. But that seed was already there. So when I started dating, or finding this strong level of attraction to women, or whatever the case is, I already had a trust issue. And that trust issue, yes, from my relationship with my father, but I also had an issue with wanting to be wanted. Every man across the board, we may not verbalize, we may not say it a lot, but we want to feel wanted, just like any woman wants to feel wanted. And it was just a desire to want to feel wanted. And part of that desire came from me feeling like my dad, because he was not present and he was not active in my life through a lot of years, feeling like, well, if he didn't want me, then why would someone else want me? Then we begin to internalize, even with the trust issue piece. If they say they're going to do something and they don't, and these are the people that I love, these are the people that that gave me life, these are the people that have my last name, and I'm just not speaking about that, I'm just speaking in general, people that gave me last names or whatever, and these are the people that say that they love me, and then they're dropping the ball on their presence and their activeness in my life, then what am I going to think someone that does not have my last name, someone that did not watch me be raised, and someone that did not give me life, what are they going to do? And majority of the time, we don't believe when people say that they're going to do something is because those that loved us or those that have our same last name told us that they were going to do something and did not follow through on that task, assignment, or promise either. And so what that does is that creates a big trust issue, and it creates a thing in us that says, yo, I don't know if I can trust people. And you get into, romantic relationship, and then it's like, yo, I love you too, we'll do anything for each other. But then the first time that they show a pattern of what you have been exposed to, then now you're ready to, fly off the handle, you're ready to snap, you're ready to go off, all because you've been holding on to this big level of trust issue that is probably lied dormant, that now that relationship has exposed it. And so as I deal with my level of distrust, I want to be sure that I take you guys on this journey of allowing yourself to trust again and allowing yourself to get to the root of it. Now, what I will say is that just because your family members or those that loved you and you remember, at 10 or 9 or whatever the case is, did not follow through on certain things, it doesn't make them horrible people. My dad was not a horrible person. I think that there were other things that were weighing in with my dad's life, right? But then also at the same time, I feel like when people make promises to you or they say that they want to do something, majority of those people genuinely want to do something. They genuinely want to do that. And that moment they made that promise is because they genuinely wanted to do it. They were not lying to you. They were not hyping you up. They had every desire to follow through on what they said, what they committed to. Maybe things came up. Maybe situations happen, or maybe they overextended themselves. And what I found in my adult life is that one of my biggest flaws is that I will oftentimes find myself lying, which is a play on words, right? I find myself lying and people are like, oh, well, you're a liar. No, I find myself lying because I legit, and my desire to want to do it is not a lie. My ability to do it makes it a lie. And so what ends up happening is that I don't follow through with something, then that makes me a liar because I said I was going to do. I said I was going to be. I said that I could, not understanding that I made that promise due to me overextending myself and me trying to appease or to please everybody. The challenge that I have is the level of acceptance, wanting to be accepted. So how do you quote unquote be accepted, or how do you get accepted? You tell everybody yes. Somebody says like you have an engagement. That engagement is from 12 to 3 p.m. And somebody says, hey, I got an event at 2:30. Can you be there? And you like, yeah. And you're going to try your hardest to end that event or try to leave that event early when you know that you've committed to that time. But because you want to be accepted by that person that told you that their event was at 2:30, you're going to overextend yourself. And then what you end up doing is that if you don't show up to that event, you end up, instead of communicating and being honest that, yo, I probably can't make it, but I really, really do want to be there for you. I really, really want to be there and I really can't be there. Instead of doing that, you kind of create a trust issue in someone else because you overextended yourself. And it's the level of love is there, the level of wanting to be there is there, but you have to be realistic. And if you begin to look at certain things that may have you, and what I mean by that is that grips you, such as my level of acceptance, my level of wanting to be liked, my level of people pleasing, that's a big thing for me. And I know that has me, that has gripped me. And so now I'm trying to release the reins of that so I can live in the freedom of, listen, if my no makes you angry with me, or if my no makes you an enemy, you were never really a friend. Again, if my no makes you an enemy, then you never were a friend. And we have to begin to be honest about these spaces and places as it pertains to relationships in our lives and people in our lives and people that we encounter. So I want to challenge you with that you, if you deal with people pleasing or acceptance like myself, that you begin to allow your no's to be no's and your yeses to be yeses. And I believe that they will begin to weed out the people that are truly there for you. And then also too, you'll be able to look back and say that, yeah, I may have some trust things that I have to work through, but I know that my circle appreciates my honesty about what I'm able to do and also overextending myself. You will never be able to love people beyond how you love yourself or care for people beyond how you care for yourself. So care for yourself, put yourself first, love yourself, and then begin to deal with certain things, certain issues that you may have and things that you want to address and that you want to fix and encounter within self. Guys, I hope that this has helped you. These are just tips and life application things that I just kind of want to do for you and to kind of have on the page and kind of live on this page. And so I hope that this helps. And we're going to get back to creating mannerisms. We're going to get back to creating exposed. We're going to get back to creating this content that you guys seem to love. And also, we're going to get back to kicks and giggles. All right. So, but as I don't want to create a trust issue in you by me overextending myself with content. All right. But we are going to get back to it. I promise you that. So, yeah, I'm going to follow through so it doesn't create a trust issue. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, you're doing better than what you think you are, and God is doing more than what you think he is. Again, you're doing better than what you think you are, and God is doing more than what you think he is. And I look forward to connecting and talking with you guys soon. Have a good one.